Sorry, ladies. I know you had your hearts set on attending the Sportsman's Banquet at the New Harmony Church in Salem, Missouri this weekend. But as it turns out, you're not invited. According to the advertisement the church sent out, penislessness excludes you, unless, of course, you're making master sandwich. That's right. The actual wording on their advertising for the event was, quote, no women allowed, unless you're cooking, end quote. To his credit, when the ad garnered some online notoriety, the head asshole was quick to point out that it was meant as part of a running joke between the men and women in his church. One about women being inferior to men and only fit to cook for them. Sure, but, in a funny way. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'd come if they invited me, or paid me, but I'm still baffled that this kind of blatant misogyny hasn't driven more women away from the religion that has three gods, all of them with dicks. But enough about sexist. Let's turn instead to a Nevada Republican who put her gray matter towards solving the epidemic of rape on American universities. And wouldn't you know it, she puzzled it all out in a jiffy. The key, of course, is for women to be armed proportionally to their hotness. Yes, the woman who also recently explained that cancer is a fungus that can be washed away with the salt water also thinks that rape will stop if, quote, these young, hot little girls had a firearm, end quote. And this isn't just a theoretical musing, by the way. This was an argument offered in support of her bill to allow concealed firearms on the campuses of the Nevada universities. There's so much wrong with this idiocy, but since I don't have enough time to express all of it in my life, by the way, not just in this segment, I'll simply point out how horrifyingly off-base this bullshit narrative that rape is something only hot young girls have to worry about is. And I'll leave the other 16 layers of absurdity for another time. And that's mostly because Idaho lawmaker Vito Barbieri is so fucking stupid that I think we're going to have to dwell on it for a second. This dingleberry, who would look at a place anywhere but on the back of a phone book asking if you've been injured in a slip and fall recently, decided to open up his mouth and remove all doubt during a hearing about a bill that would ban doctors from prescribing abortion-inducing medication through telemedicine. Because I guess the two abortion clinics that serve the 800,000 women in the ostracized state are plenty. So while a physician was talking about the use of telemedicine, and specifically about using a swallowed camera to examine a patient's colon, Barbieri cleared his throat, and it was all downhill from there. In words that no adjectives can fully encapsulate the stupidity of, he asked the doctor if a woman could swallow a camera to examine a fetus in utero, forcing this doctor to explain, amid a torrent of laughter, of course, that women don't swallow things with their vaginas, nor do we throw babies up. Now, I would go on to tell you the depressing postscript to that story where the committee went on to actually pass the restrictive and wholly unnecessary measure, but that part is bleak and the impromptu gynecology lesson is hilarious, so we'll just leave it there. And until next time, I'll hand it back to Noah and Heath.